Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss July 7, 2021 newspaper articles. The first one is unpacking China's game plan. Okay, before going into this topic, let me clarify that the issues involved in India and China relationship. Okay, there are few issues that you should definitely know. One is, we all know it, is border conflict. Next one is trade issues. What is the trade issues involved is trade deficit. Okay, I guess in 2019 and 20 financial year the trade deficit was $48 billion. And coming to the second issue is China is following this predatory policy. Okay, about the predatory policy I have even explained in previous videos. And next one is China is following this non tariff barrier methodology. What is that means? It is trying to impose non tariff barriers on Indian exports to limit the Indian exports to China. And the next one is the most important thing is geopolitics. Okay, you can say that in geopolitics China making inroads into SARC and trying to implement string of pearls theory. And next one is showing dominance in South China Sea. And what is the fourth one? The most important thing, one of the most important thing, it is religious aspects. You can, in religious aspects you may think what is that. Definitely you can say about Dalai Lama. Okay, it is a Tibet issue. And next one is China is not adhering to which principle? Punch shield principle. Okay, which talks about the integrity of territorial integrity. It talks about the territorial integrity. And next one, respect towards the sovereignty and non-interference in internal issues. Okay, how we can say it has not been respecting? Because the example you can quote, that is China Pakistan economic corridor, which is passing through the POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir, Gilgit Baltistan. Actually, to be precise, you can say Gilgit Baltistan region. Okay, this is actually India's region, right? China is going ahead with this project without taking permission of India, and even the India expressed its reservation in this project. One of the most important issue is, that is water issue. What is water issue? China is trying to build as many as dams on Brahmaputra river. Okay, so India being a downstream country is getting affected with pollution and reducing volume of water and with floods, etc. Even in 2017, right, when the Doklam standoff took place, at the time China refused to share the water data. Okay, so you can say that it actually, if India does anything anti to China, it's actually shown that if you do anything anti to us, we will not share anything with you, so you will suffer. It is trying to say this thing. So these are the 6 major issues that you should definitely remember. Okay, now coming to this article talks about this border conflict. Okay, in this border conflict the most important thing is you should understand where are the border conflicts between India and China. One, you can say western sector. The next one is where middle sector. Where is this middle sector? It is Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, right? Obviously, if you see the map, I'll draw the map. You can see here. This is what? This is Ladakh. You can say this is Himachal Pradesh. Here Uttarakhand will end like this, like this. Sikkim will come, and here Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Manipur, Mizoram आ गया, Tripura आ गया, and Meghalaya and Bangladesh and see here you can say that from what you call here this is Ladakh, right? This is Ladakh and this is Jammu and Kashmir. So here the conflicts is there. I will explain in detail about this now. And this is Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, here also the China is here. Here, which is the line that you should answer to me now? Here one line is there, right? This is a boundary between China and India. Okay, what is this line is known as? This line is known as McMahon line, right? Okay, what is this line is known as, which divides India and China? This one, this is known as Johnson line. Okay, you should remember these two. And बीच में क्या है इधर हिमाचल प्रदेश and Uttarakhand. Here Barahuti plains. This is actually Barahuti plains are very minor issues between India and China. Almost it is settled also, but little bit controversy is there still. So India is facing, this is middle sector. The next one is eastern sector. Eastern sector we all know, this is China is claiming almost, not you can say, you cannot say that entire Arunachal Pradesh is claiming. I will show you if it is entire Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, and China is claiming this part. Okay, almost 95%, 96% of Arunachal Pradesh is claiming. So this is about the border issues where we are facing. This article talks about what? This article talks about the western sector. So we are not going to discuss about this or Barahuti plains. We are going to discuss about the western sector. Okay, coming to this about the western sector, let me draw the map. Imagine this is Jammu and Kashmir. I know the map has not come properly, but still we can manage it. So here, what is there? Here LOC. Sorry, let me use another color so that it will. Here LOC and it will go like this. And here what is there? Here what will be the famous glacier? What is that? Siachen glacier is there. Okay, and here there is one small territory. Okay, this territory was actually belongs to India, but Pakistan, because it is under the control right now, this is known as POK. Okay, this entire area is Pakistan, POK, because Pakistan occupied this. But this part was ceded to the China by the, ceded means it has given to the China by the Pakistan. Okay, this is Siachen glacier. Okay, Siachen glacier we all know which under whom it is in control. It is Indian Army taking care of the Siachen now. Now the issue is with China. China is let me change the color. Let me take the pink. This is LAC. This is LOC. This is LAC. What is LOC? Line of control. This one line of actual control. Okay. And Pakistan, this China has issues here also. Let me change the color. Let me take the green. Here, here and all. Okay. So this is a LAC now. Okay. What is this region? Very famous region. That is Aksai Chin. When this went to under the control of China after 1962 war. We all know that India and China fought war in 1962. To understand this article, you should know the developments of infrastructure activities in this region. What is this? The first important is what? This here. This line is going right, this one. It will come like this, it will come here. What is this line? Very famous line. This is actually DSDBO road. Okay, this is actually DSDBO road. If you clearly examine this properly, it is actually running parallel almost to the LAC. Okay, what is this? The definition of DSDBO means? DBO means what? D means Daulat, B means beg, oldie. DS means what? This D means Darbuk. This S means Shiong. Means what? This Daulat Beg Oldie will be connected to Shiong and Darmuk. What is, where is this, what you call, let me see this. Here, this DBO is there, and here S, that is Shiong, is there. Here D, that is Darbuk, is there. Here Leh, we all know, here Leh will be there. Here the famous lake will be there, that you should know it, that is here. Okay, this lake. Actually, no, if this part, if you take and draw it here, okay, this is Pangong Lake, this is India's part, and this is China's part. Here you can say that there will be 4 fingers. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, these 4 fingers are under the control of Indian military. This is under the control of China. Okay, I'm drawing everything to make you understand my explanation, which I am going to give later. Now let's come to the issue now. So what is the issue here? The issue is, okay, about the 2 things. One, Johnson line, another one is McDonald line. Okay, so this Johnson, India claims we should follow Johnson line. So that this Johnson line was actually drawn by the British in 1965. Actually in 1865, sorry. This 1865 to 1890s. Okay, China also accepted, okay, we will follow this Johnson line. But after 1980s, what happened due to the threat of Russia at the time? Okay, British what they did for their convenience, they have changed the borders. They have drawn it. They have changed the order by following the John McDonald's method. Okay, in this McDonald's method, what happened? This Akai Aksai Chin. This Aksai Chin territory falls under the administration of China. Okay, this Johnson method, what it says that it has drawn the boundaries. It shows that this Aksai Chin comes under the Indian administration, British administration, you can say, at that time. Now China is saying, no, 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 we should follow McDonald's line. We should not follow Johnson line. Why we should follow it? We can easily see here that because if you observe here this line, if China occupies this part, we may say this is desertified area. There is human living here is not possible. Okay, life of human is not possible because it's completely cold desert. Why should we bother like that? We may think that India should give it back to China. Okay, why we are thinking so much? It is useless. Yes, it is useless actually. But here what is there? Here Siachen Glacier is there, and here Karakoram Trans Highway will be there. Okay, China want to use this Karakoram Trans Highway for its benefit, and it will become even strategically. It will give strategically tomorrow if India goes to war. Okay, it will give strategical benefits to the China, and because China and Pakistan are thick friends, and it will even give hand to the Pakistan army. This is the first thing that India is not agreeing for. This is one of the reason why India is not agreeing to exchange the territories. Another thing is, who will give their own land to another country? Okay, it is not possible, right? Okay, no country will give their territory, such a huge chunk of territory, to other countries. So India is not agreeing for giving it back. Actually, late 50s, you can say late 50s and early before 1962, the China has proposed a plan. You know what it proposed? Here come. You keep this this Arunachal Pradesh territory with you only. Okay, but give us this Aksai Chin land to us. China has proposed this policy, but at the time Prime Minister Nehru, he did good thing that by rejecting the policy, because why should we give our land to China? Actually, if you follow this McDonald's McDonald's line also, this McDonald's line says that this is the border. Okay, not this much. This is occupied after 1962. And here coming to this lake. Now we have talked about this 4 fingers and here 4 fingers. Okay. Now China, what India says, this 4th finger is a border between India and China. China should not enter after this 4th finger. But what China says, China want to even occupy this 3rd finger also. Okay, and giving only 2 fingers to India. What is this here, right? This is Pangong Lake, and this is actually complete Pangong Lake. This part is in India. If you zoom this part, there is actually 4 fingers here. Okay, and after this part there are another 4 fingers that is come under the China's regulation. But India says that this 4th finger is the border between India and China. But China says that no, no, you have only two fingers, we have all the six fingers. Here, why they, what is these fingers meant? Okay, two fingers, three fingers, four fingers. Okay, here actually the thing happens if India agrees for that two fingers, so Indian land territory will become like this. Okay, it will have to see lot of territory like this. So what India gets, you are allowing Chinese to enter India very easily now. Okay, actually through this pass only, right, to this, through this place only, that in 1962 Chinese has entered. Even China knows it. That's why China strongly want to occupy this remaining two territories, sorry, two fingers, that is 3 and 4, leaving 1 and 2 to India. So this is the issue. Now because of this tension lies along this western sector with China, India started building its road, that is called DSDBO road, one of the famous infrastructure road here, okay, which connects northern tip to the lake. This road enables that if tomorrow some conflict comes, our troops can easily reach LAC, wherever along the LAC the standoff happen or conflicts are going on, they can reach there very fast. The reduced time will be 40% of time will be reduced. Along with this, India even established some advanced air landing for whom? For Indian Air Force. Okay, where are they? That is Fukche. And next one is Leh. Next one is Padum. Fourth one is Toise. Fifth one is Yoma. And sixth one is Shimla. And fifth one is, you can say seventh one is Manali. Kulu. So you should understand that where their location exactly are there. Their location here, Fukche is there. F. Okay. Next one is Leh. We know that here Leh is there. And next one is here Nyoma is there. Here Pandum is there. Here Toise is there. And here Galwan Valley. We all know what happened in Galwan Valley in June 2020. Okay, so these are the emergency, you can say, advanced air base of India, Air Force landing for Indian Air Force. Okay, so why India has established this? Because if some conflict comes, immediately India can attack on China, or you can say Chinese forces. But what about China? See, this is from here, China's will be there. Here, Tibet, right? This is entirely Tibet region. Okay, we all know that Tibet is a plateau and it has highest mountain peaks. Okay, the plateau itself, and the plateau itself elevated very high. Okay, in this region constructing advanced air force landing or airports is not easy task for Chinese. So in this aspect, India is far ahead of China in the advanced air force landing or airport infrastructure. These things China has observed. So China started, even though it is becoming very difficult for them, started constructing, because we all know that China is very powerful in terms of economy and money. So it started constructing advanced air force landing and airports in Tibet region. When it comes to China and India, air freighters, India's fighter jets are more powerful than China's. Example, India has Sukhois, Mirages, Rafale, etc. And moreover, flying on this difficult terrain is not a easy task. Okay, due to the weather for China, I'm talking about China side in the Tibet region. Okay, due to the varied climate and extreme weather conditions and extreme physical topography conditions. But here the question is, okay, they will build, however, China in 2-3 years they will build their infrastructure very easily, because they are caliber of it, they have that caliber also. And after they build, India also is building. Already India has a strong infrastructure, it will even become stronger infrastructure, but how long it will have to go? It will keep going only, right? But what is the solution? The solution lies here is dialogues. Okay, actually if you observe this LOC, okay, where it is, if you observe this LOC, difference between LOC and this LAC, okay, difference between this LOC and this LAC is what you know. Here constantly they will be now there is cease of fire agreement, but many times we have Pakistan has violated cease of fire agreement. Okay, the you can say constantly the firing incident happens and both the sides jawans will be killed like that. But here it is not like that. Here from the beginning, here every time by dialogues only we used to address the grievance. Okay, but only after 45 years, okay, after 45 years in Galwan Valley, our 20 soldiers lost their life. Okay, this is after 45 years. So what is the mechanism lies here means, here there are many mechanisms lies which actually tackles the issue very without getting escalated. That those mechanisms are 1993 agreement on the maintenance of peace and tranquility along the LAC. Okay, the next one is 1996, it's an agreement on confidence building measures along the LAC only. Next one is 2005 protocol on modalities for the implementation of these confidence building measures. Okay, and in 2012 it is agreement on establishment of working mechanism for consultation and coordination on the India China border. Okay, they have working mechanism also for consultation coordination along the India China border. What is that fifth one? Fifth one is border defense cooperation agreement. Because of all these agreements, see, all these things are military level dialogues. Okay, so that's why they are able to contain any conflict for the last 45 years. Exception is there, that is Galwan Valley. Okay, however, not only these reasons are, these agreements are reason for not having aggressive LAC. Okay, another reasons are, see, our border conflict is just based on the maladministration of British. Okay, not based on, because our border is not divided based on the religion lines, like between India and Pakistan. Our border is not divided based on ideological differences, like Pakistan and India. Now you may ask, if it is like that, then why Galwan Valley standoff happened and 20 Indian soldiers were killed? Okay, the reasons are there. For that also there are reasons. The reasons I will write here. Okay, I'll give just points. First point, why the reasons for the Galwan Valley is, see, I told you that India is constructing these infrastructures and this emergency airfield landing. Okay, all this India is doing, right? That's why, that is, China didn't like it. Okay, this is also one of the reason. The second reason is, see what happened. Dokalam standoff happened in 2017. India dubbed it as a its victory. Okay, no, though the government has not comment on it, but the people and the media, international media, everything has dubbed it as a victory of India. Okay, definitely the power. China is very powerful country, right? Okay, China cannot take that, so it kept that in mind. It is waiting for the chance. The another thing is, India supported a resolution in UN that resolution deals with demanding fair probe for the outbreak of on the outbreak of coronavirus. Means obviously it goes against China, right? That's why China was got hurt. The next one is reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, now reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir, what is linked with China? Because the Ladakh. Okay, Ladakh was given union territory. Okay, status. This union territory status will come under direct control of center. So China has actually protested against the abrogation of Article 370. These are the main reasons why the Dokalam Valley standoff took place in 2020. You can even add that Quad, which I have already explained on June 22nd, I guess, in editorial. What happened? India participating in Quad, China don't like it. So this is also can be one of the reason why China showing aggression in the western sector. Now you may ask that, okay, tomorrow what is the guarantee that this Galwan Valley type may not emerge again and that may not convert into full-fledged war? Okay, there is a guarantee for that India and China will never go again for war. That is because there is a concrete mechanism to address these issues. Okay, this mechanism means what? There is a willingness among the military leaders and the political leaders to address the issue. Okay, the second reason is, see, even China want to become a global leader, right? The global leader cannot be so aggressive, and even India want to become a global and regional leader. So both the leader, they cannot be aggressive, so the issue cannot turn into a war, because it will lead to the reputational damage. And for India, it have to maintain its eastern sector, means Pakistan, and also it have to maintain western sector issues also. So going war with China will weaken its eastern sector. So China, that will encourage Pakistan to send more infiltration and cause more damage to India. So for India, not going war with any country is better, so that it can efficiently manage its border. So this much you should know about this topic, and I hope you are very clear about now the western sector issues. And if UPSC ask anything about western sector issues, you should be in a position to write with the map everything. Coming to the second article, that is Indian bond yields peak as crude crude oil surges. Okay, the here thing is, here I want to clarify one concept. You know that if bond yields increases, bond prices will fall. If bond prices increases, bond yields will fall. You know this. This is a concept you should know. I will explain now how why it happens. See, there is a bond. You belongs to a company. Okay, you have a company. Okay, this company name is India. Take example. Okay, you are the owner. What you do, you will release for 2021 and for 2022 you will release a bond. What is that bond name? Bond name is bond A. Okay, and I am an investor. What I will do, I will come and invest in this bond. I will give you 1,000 rupees. Okay, I will invest, I will take these bonds, I will invest on this bond, and you will say that I will pay you per 1 year 100 rupees. Means what is the yield I'm getting? I'm getting 100 by 1,000 I am investing. You are giving me monthly dividend, sorry, yearly dividend, 100 rupees for my investment. Yield is how much? Yield is 10%, right? I am getting 10% of dividend every year from you. Okay, now what you did, you decided that for 2022 to 2023 you are giving another bond, that is bond B. Okay, and here the bond B value is 1,000 rupees. Okay, but here you are ready to pay me bond yield how much? 12.5%. Take example. Means what? You will 12.5% of 1,000 how much? 125 rupees. Yearly you will be giving 125 rupees to me as a dividend, right? Okay, here also 1,000, here also 1,000. Okay, now you say here I am getting 125 rupees, here if I invest I will get 100 rupees. Okay, 100 rupees. To who, where I will go and invest? I or any other investors? Okay, they will go and invest here only, right? Okay, and whoever invested here, they will take all the money and go here. Okay, to stop this, what you have to do? Okay, you have to make this 100, this 10% as equivalent to 12.5%. Okay, if you are going to make these bonds, bond A yield as 12.5%, but you cannot change 100 rupees, right? 100 rupees will be fixed because the dividend you have made an agreement, I will give you 100 rupees. But what you have to do to these bonds, you have to reduce, if you have to attract the investors. Okay, what you have to do, you have to reduce the fair value of these bonds. How much you have to reduce? 200 rupees you have to reduce. Why 200 rupees? You said that you are giving 100 rupees, okay, per year, and 1,000 and 8 0 cancel, it is 12.5%. So on the bonds, on this bond 12.5%, on this bond 12.5%, but the value of bond changes. Okay, because when the value of bond is changing, when the yield is increasing, the bond yield increases, the value of bond changes. Okay, means what? Changing how? It is decreasing. If 10 becomes 12.5%, then 1,000 became 800 rupees. so it has reduced. Okay, the bond price value has reduced. Okay, if this 10% becomes 8%, then what happen? Reverse will happen. Then it will become 1200 rupees. Okay, this is the concept. You have to understand that if bond yield increases, bond prices increases, sorry, reduces. Okay, if bond yield reduces, bond prices increases. It's reverse, always reverse. Okay, remember, this is the concept you should know in this article. Coming to here, see here, if you observe, May 2020 lockdown, it was a lockdown period, and the GST rate collection is very low. We can understand because of lockdown and everything happened like that. Here again, what happened? This is May, June, July, and August. Okay, September, November, December, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Okay, now we can understand here why it is low. Now what happened in after June? In June, it has increased to around 80,000 crores in June alone. We can understand that because the economy started opening up and economic activity started growing, and transportation transportation increases, means what happens? E-way bills increases and all these things increases, so we can understand. And again in July it has not grown that much, and in August it has not grown, but from September onwards it's grown. Okay, all these things we can understand because of beach में festivals आया था, और and because of economic opening up and transportation going up, everything it's trying to coming normal. But the problem is here, June, February, and March, April. Okay, see, when you see here, it crossed 1 trillion rupees. Okay, in consecutively 5 months. Okay, how it has happened? Okay, how come GST, when GST collections increases, can anyone says, can think of it? When GST collection will increase, when tax collections increase, when indirect tax collection increase. Indirect tax means a tax on a product, right? One product is manufactured, when you are selling to the consumer, the tax on this product, means if you sell more customers, more products, then the collection will increase. Okay, this is one way that collection should increase. Means what? If GST is increasing, the production should increase. Means what? If production should increase, then it should show in GDP that GDP is increasing. If GDP is increasing, what happens? Then employment should have increased. If employment increase, what happens? If GDP production increases, GDP increases, means what? The main thing, demand is there in the economy. Means people are buying goods and services a lot. Okay, but do you think even now the people has the same, what you call, urge, the same urge what they had in 2018 and 19 to buy the products? No, because people's savings has been crunched because of lockdown, restriction, COVID-19, loss of employment, migration, counter migration, and everything happened, right? So actually these increase, why it has happened? Is it because of growth of GDP? Definitely no. How we can say no? If you see that financial year 2020 to 2021, the GDP has actually contracted by 7.3%. So what does it mean? If GDP contracted by 7.3%, means GDP has not grown. But still GDP has not grown. So GDP has not grown means what happens? Definitely production has not grown. If production is not growing, what happens? Employment is not grown. Employment is not growing, wages are not increased, or money flow in the market is not increased, demand is not increased. Like this, many cascading effects is there. But still, we are seeing that GDP has increased. How come it possible? It is possible because after the economic is opened up, government took some initiatives. Okay, and those initiatives made many new industries to come under the GST taxation. Okay, previously of countries, sorry, companies with a turnover less than 500 crores, okay, they will not come under the GST. Now companies with less than 50 crores also comes under the GST. So many people who are evading taxes, now they have to pay the taxes under the GST. So the GST collection has increased. Okay, this is the one of the main reason. We cannot say that because economy is growing, economy is not growing. We cannot say that this growth is not linked with economic growth also. Yes, economy is growing. If you see the third quarter of 2020, what is the percentage of growth? The percentage of growth is 0.2%, and fourth quarter the percentage of growth is 0.4%. Okay, the growth is there, but it is very minor growth. But with this growth also, actually there is, actually you can see, this is the normal, with the economy is not growing that much. If it is stabilized and opening of economy, this much revenues the government will get very easily. But for getting this much revenue, there should be something extraordinary. Either GDP should be growing, or some initiatives should have been taken. Those initiatives are these things. And again here you can see that the GDP, sorry, the GST collections are low. Because why? Because we all know that because of restrictions, transportation restrictions, and manufacturing companies are not growing because of lockdowns. We know that this is May, right? Okay, this is May, this is June. Okay, so lockdowns and everything, that's why it has impacted the manufacturing sector, service sector, and other sectors. Because we have seen the Swiggy was not working, Zomato was not working, manufacturers closed their production, many manufacturers closed their production, many has reduced their production, transportation was not working, like that. So this is the reason. So that's it for today. Thank you.